Good evening, one and all. We welcome you to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2022. On occasion of World Suicide Prevention Day and also commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence. And UN Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute. So with the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue our session with the prayer.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue to today's session. Today is very important day. That is World Suicide Prevention Day. And this entire month is also celebrated as Suicide Prevention Month. And you know, every second, 4 lives are lost. 4 people are committing or trying to attempt suicides. And that is, officially for every 4 seconds, 1 person is attempting suicide, but unofficially every second, more than 4 people are trying to commit suicide. So this is the magnitude of the problem we are facing, especially with the suicide. No matter what, how much awareness is created, how much support is being given, the world still continues to be more of discriminative, abusive, non-supportive. That is making more and more people vulnerable, to these suicides or killing or self-harm and various other acts. So why one needs to commit suicide in the very first place? Why one is forcing himself or herself to commit a suicide in the very first place? Is this world not a safe place? Do not find any person where he or she can talk to, or that whether that person feels that this is an unsafe world and is surrounded by unsafe people? When we think this, when we think about having so much of population and not even able to find a single person to talk to, that, that is a kind of magnitude. I mean, that is kind of insecurity, or that is a kind of, judgmental or biased, skewed perceptions that a person is having and the world is projecting towards that person, because everything is reciprocative to each other. That gives, a similar view of how we understand the world and how world is understanding us. And the suicide rates are rising day by day. And it's not that, in spite of so many efforts, so many webinars, so many seminars, so many conferences, and today is also a pandemic of World Suicide Prevention Day programs. In spite of that, what we have really achieved? Have we really achieved anything? Are the suicide rates coming down or going up? If they are going up, then what we have achieved? And why, in spite of so many efforts, we are still lagging behind? And why we are not able to control or prevent suicides? Maybe we are just preaching, we are not practicing. That is a major. We say everything is happening and everything is involved in everything, everything is doing everything, and we blame others. Our perspective is to blame others, not to correct ourselves. When the change starts from us, when the change starts from ourselves, when the change starts within ourselves, the world will change, because change has to start with ourselves. We need to be objective, we need to be open, we need to be unbiased, we need to be undiscriminative, and we need to be welcoming. Then only the world will change. Otherwise, how will world change? We are the society, we are the nation, we are the world, we are the planet. And as long as we do not change, nothing is going to change. People talk about corruption, but everyone is doing corruption. People talk about violation of rules and regulations, but in the very first place, we ourselves don't follow. We ourselves violate and talk that no one is following or everyone is violating. In the very first place, whether I am following, whether you are following, whether we are following is more important. But nowadays, in this world, everything seems to be common. That's why more and more stress to the individuals, to the families, to the society. Everyone is selfish. Everyone wants their own benefits. No one is bothered to do some good thing. Today, a person who thinks good is the one who suffers a lot, who is abused a lot, who is taken for granted a lot, who is put to a lot of hardships a lot. So why these things are happening? Why we are talking about these things? Because, the crime rate is increasing, suicides are increasing, abuse is increasing, abuse towards children, abuse towards youngsters, teenagers, abuse towards adults, abuse towards senior citizens, and finally, abuse to ourselves, self-harm, self-discrimination, self-sabotage. All these things are happening. And, we are not able to properly guide them. And we are not able to create a hope. And with the theme, for this World Suicide Prevention Day, creating hope through action by encouraging, understanding, reaching in, and sharing experiences. We want to give people the confidence to take action to prevent suicide requires us to become a beacon of light to those in pain. You can be the light. I can be the light. We can be the light. But are we really being the light? We have to ponder upon, we have to retrospect ourselves, how well or to what extent we are really contributing. But I don't think so. Or for that matter, you know, are we really caring for the fellow beings? Are we really caring for the nature? Are we really, caring for our society or planet? That is a highly questionable. Why? We need to answer ourselves, everyone, each one of us. We need to answer about various other things. Why a person is dying? Why a person among so much of huge population is feeling alone? Why a person is unable to find a person to whom he or she can talk to at the time of crisis, at the time of, reaching to, uh, reaching for help. There are so many suicide helplines. Are they really functioning? And if they are really functioning, to what extent they are functioning? To what extent they are helping in preventing suicides? And what extent they are contributing to the well-being of the potential, you know, persons who are planning to commit suicide. And with these all questions pondering upon, in spite of, so many awareness programs, not being negative or a skeptic or anything, just was looking at the magnitude of people committing suicides. Are we still able to focus on the theme? Are we still able to reduce? Because the facts and figures are showing something different. No matter how much efforts we are putting, but the suicide rates are not coming down. And what may be the reason? An estimated of 7,03,000 people a year take their life around the world. 7,03,000 people a year take their life around the world. They are the ones who successfully commit suicide, not just who try committing suicide. The figures are even more. We lost 7 lakh people, who are committing suicide, and what we are doing to prevent that. And to prevent suicide requires us to begin a beacon of light to those in pain. Are we really becoming? And suicide can affect every one of us. One person, if a one person or if one person commits a suicide in the family, the entire family gets affected. And not only that, this vulnerability will continue from generations to generations. You can see a family where a person committed suicide and there is a, this transference that goes on, the lineage that goes on, and it is quite common after that. There is greater possibility of someone else committing suicide in the family or in the extended family or in the neighborhood. So why a person is losing hope? What makes a person to lose hope? or this life is very beautiful life we all got, but what is making all of us, or for that matter the persons who are committing suicides, what is making them to feel isolated, what is making them feel so much strong that they are destined or destined to take their life. Maybe we will see into the statistics and other parts after today's session. Maybe one of the major cause or contributor is also abuse. So today's topic by our speaker for the day. After that, I will be talking on suicide prevention. So in that, abuse, child abuse is also one of the factor that is contributing towards suicide. So let's listen to our speaker for the day, Mrs. Haulat Emmanuel. She is social worker from Nigeria, Africa, and also registered member of NASOW. And she is she has held various positions as departmental president, state chapter, national welfare, NASOWS, and she has experience at various positions like founder, advocates for building, guiding for child initiative, and founder coach marriage, and single connect counseling on Facebook, and founder coach marriage counseling Facebook, and also advice for married and singles on WhatsApp and various other initiatives. So we welcome you, ma'am, Mrs. Haulat Emmanuel, to take over for your session on child molestation. You can start your video and audio. And if you have any presentation, you can start your PPT as well. Over to you. Mrs. Haulat.
Thank you. Mr. Ravindra, thank you for this section.
Yeah, you can start your video also.
Thank you.
Yeah, good.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, please.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ravindra. Thank you for this section. I appreciate. Just like you said, we have so many abuses today, so many social vices today, and it seems like nobody is saying anything or doing anything about it. What is left for me, you, and the society to ensure that most of these social vices are being curtailed? Our topic tonight, it's child molestation. It's actually a big challenge in our today's society. We have series of molestations out there, but this specific one, child molestation, had been a very big challenge to the society, ranging from depression, suicidal, just like Dr. Ravindra just said, suicidal, loneliness, and a lot of that. What do we understand by the word child molestation? There are so many definitions of child molestation out there. But we are going to pick the specific one that that is in line with what we are about to discuss tonight. A very brief one. Child molestation, it's a process where an adult touches a child that is below the ages of 18 in an improper way, touching a child. Their sensitive parts, their private parts, just because you are superior to them, that is the word I could use. You feel you're superior to someone and you could actually do whatever you want to do with them and nothing is going to be done about it. And you begin to threaten those children that when you touch them, they shouldn't say a word. When they say something, you're going to kill them. You touch them in their sensitive parts, touching their boobs, touching their breasts in a way that they are not happy with. But because you feel you're superior to them, just like I said, you can do it and you go free. These are some of the challenges we are facing in our today's society. And it's like the parents of those children are not even helping matters. That is one other challenge I realize. When a child is being molested and the child goes home, talk to the parent, somebody, Mr. A did this to me, or Uncle B did this to me, you realize that the parents are not even taking it serious. And sometimes the child, it's also a major challenge. When we have children, we have some of these children that are not sincere, they tell lies. So by the time they are not saying truth, you wouldn't know if this child is not saying the truth or not, because on a usual ground, the child doesn't tell the truth. So the spouse or the parents or the guardians find it very difficult to now believe if the child is saying the truth or not. So I advise children out there, always be sincere as often as you can, so that when you're saying the truth, your guardians, your parents, or whoever you are dealing with, whoever you're staying with, your sister, brother, should be able to believe you, should be able to say, Kai, this thing this child is saying, the child is saying the truth. So you can say that when a child is being molested, just like as I was saying, the parents keep mute. They don't want to talk because of stigma. They feel like by the time I report this to the various authorities, to the government, my child is going to be stigmatized. What will the society say? If I report this case, who is going to marry my child in the long run? These are some of the fears that these parents have in them. And the person who is being molested is even being killed the more. Like the depression the person is going through, the trauma psychologically, because nothing is being done. So please, the first step we need to take, if we need to even curtail child molestation, it is for the parents to speak out. When your child comes to you to tell you, this was what was done, this was how Uncle A or my teacher molested me in a way that I was not pleased with, the parents should be able to speak out. If a child was bold enough to speak out, then you, the parents, should be bold enough to speak out. Don't kill the child in silence. You don't do that. So please, to every parent out there, ensure that you monitor your children. You monitor everything they do. You monitor their offline activities and online activities. Technology have actually done a lot of damages to children of this generation. That is what I could say, because we have a lot of I don't care parents out there. You have a child of 13 years, 10 years, 12 years, using a mobile phone, using iPhone, a lot of expensive phones out there now, and yet you're not finding time to monitor your child's activity. That's wrong. That's wrong. Please, if you're having a phone, If you think of buying a phone for your teenager, of course, I'm not saying it's bad. Ensure you have a way of monitoring the child on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Because molestation that we see or talked about today, it is not just about touching someone physically. There are words you tell a child. You're molesting the child. There are your words. There are words. There are words. And when you say them, it is a form of molestation to them. You're abusing them sexually. You're abusing them sexually. So please, we have a lot of victims out there, victims of child molestation, victims of sexual abuse that have looked down on themselves. They feel depressed, they feel lonely because they have no one to even talk to. And I tell these children, whenever I go for my outreach, I tell these children, I said, please, when you are being molested in a way you don't like, speak out. Look for someone around you that is reliable. Speak to them. Just say something. Because if you're being molested and the person that molests you is telling you that by the time you speak out, I'm going to kill you. For you not to speak out, you're already killing yourself. You are already killing yourself. So nobody should tell you not to speak out and you keep mute. Please don't keep mute. Don't keep mute when you're being molested. Speak out. It is when you speak out that people can help you. If you don't speak out, nobody knows what you're going through. You end up killing yourself, which is not even called for. Even adults are being molested. Teenagers are being on our section for tonight, which is on child, because they are actually very vulnerable. When you look at the statistics of child, the children that are being molested out there, especially the females, yes, especially the females, is actually a challenging moment for them. When you see those children that are being molested and they have no one to speak to, trust me, I have seen them. And you realize that the only hope they have next is, I want to kill myself. You don't need to kill yourself. You don't need to kill yourself. You have a better life. That you are being abused in one way or the other doesn't mean you need to take your life. There are life after then, after there are lives to live. There are lives to live. So please, you will need to help us as a girl child, wherever you are right now, listening to this video, wherever you are. If you have a girl child at home, if you have a female child at home, please let them listen to this video. When you are being molested in a way that you don't like, please speak out. Don't be afraid of anybody. Nobody is going to kill you. Because the moment you even keep quiet and you don't say a word to anybody, you are already dead. That is what I use. That is, you're already dead. You are dead already. So please, speak out so that we can help you. Counselors can help you. Your guardians can help you. Your mother, your father can help you. I've seen a situation where a parent takes their child to see a doctor. One of their female child was having some kind of a health challenge. They took the child to see the doctor. And in the process of the doctor running a check on this girl, in the process, the doctor was touching this little child. Think about 11 to 12 years, this girl in her sensitive part. And the doctor was fondling her, playing with her, telling her, don't tell your parents. Don't tell your parents. Don't tell your, if you tell your parents, when they still come here, I'm going to give you an injection that will kill you. Now tell your parents that you are dead. And this girl ended up not telling the parents because she was being threatening. So you see, when you have a female child and you're going to see a doctor, please, I would even advise, go into the how do they call it, the checking room or whatsoever, wherever they want to take your child to check. It is the person is your child. This baby in question is your child. You, the mother, go in with them for checkup. See what they are checking your child for, to avoid issues like this. Eventually, the mother finds out, somehow she finds out that this was what the daughter was going through each time they come to the hospital. And they stopped going to the hospital and they sued the doctor. So tell me the situation whereby the mother doesn't find out and the doctor will continue doing it. The doctor will continue molesting this child. Only God knows for how long. So please, let's ensure that we monitor our children as often as we can. Let's monitor them. Wherever you are taking them to, monitor your child. If visitors comes to the house, see your reaction, see your child's reaction. See your child's reaction towards a visitor. When you tell your child to sit on an uncle's lap, in fact, why should you even tell your female child to sit in an uncle's lap? It is not right. You don't even do that as a parent, please. And if your child tells you, I'm not comfortable with this person, I'm not comfortable around this person, please go extra mile to make a research on why your child, you don't just keep quiet. How can you be saying you're not comfortable with this child? You know, you begin to scold the child. The child is already going through depression and you're now scolding the child. So why would a child be thinking of suicide? So please, regardless of how your child tells you lies before now, if they are addressing, if they come to you and discuss the issue of how someone is molesting them, please, I plead with you, every parent listening to this, give them a listening ear, go extra mile and find out to be sure if the child is. You're always telling lies now, so why should I believe you? Why should I listen to you on this particular?
I think there is some network problem at speaker end. She might connect back. Mrs. Howlett?
Yeah.
Yeah, your voice was breaking. We were unable to hear your voice properly.
Am I on air now? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Now it's good.
Okay. So I was giving reasons why some of this child are being molested. And we have stressful home environments. We have increase in loneliness. We have poor communication. We have unmonitored access to technology. And we have low self-esteem. And, you know, we have sexual abuse. Sexual abuse. Okay, let's take it one after the other. Stressful home environment. When a child is being surrounded, in an environment that is not conducive, the child is prone to sexual abuse. Because anybody could just come and say, okay, let me do this for you, let me do that for you. The child will feel like, okay, since nobody is even doing it for me, let me just give in. Let me just give in. And we have poor communication. As a parent, you need to communicate with your child as often as you can. Ask your child questions when they come back from school. Ask them, how did their school, how was their day? What happened in school? Ask them questions. Carry your children along. Carry them along. When they come back from school, carry them along. Know how their day went. That is what you are to do as a parent. And also, we have a monitored access to technology. I earlier said something like that. A lot of parents these days buy big phones and give to their children without monitoring. There are apps you can actually install on your phone to monitor your child's activities on social media. Because there are lots of terrible things happening on social media these days. Pornography, watching of a lot of sexual videos, some persons telling them a lot of words. There are words you say to a child and you are molesting the child. There are words you say to a child that indirectly you're molesting the child. If the child is not comfortable with such words, you're molesting the child. And we have low self-esteem. Please, parents, try and build your child's esteem. Please, build your child's confidence as they are growing up. It will help them to be able to defend themselves. It will help them. When a child has a low self-esteem, whatever you tell the child, he wants to do. He wants to do. So please, build your child's self-confidence. Build their self-confidence so that wherever they are, they could be able to stand and fight for their rights. They should know the truth and the lies. You can just see a guy telling a girl, don't worry, I'm going to buy you a recharge card. I'm going to stop. Just allow me touch your breast. Just allow me touch your bum bum. Just allow me, they just want to touch their private spots and do some other things with them because there is no provision of such in the house. They could just tell the girl, okay, don't worry, I'll buy you ice cream. I'll buy you chocolate. I will subscribe your phone for you. I'll buy you a recharge card. Just allow me to touch you. There are so many cases like that I've seen. There's no way a child gets all these things from their guidance on parents and the child will want to give a listening ear to anybody out there. Of course, we know we have little children that have been molested, maybe from the age of 1, 2, 3, age 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 years. There are some of these children that cannot speak out because of their age barrier. But please, as a guardian, as a parent, ensure you monitor your child as often as possible, daily. Monitor your children, monitor your child, monitor your infants. Check their body as often as possible. If an infant is being molested, how will the infant speak out? The infant will not be able to speak out. So it is left for you as a parent for you to check your child to see that, okay, what is wrong with my child? What happened? What happened? And be careful who you leave your children with. Those that are fond of having nanny, they want to have nanny. You leave your child with just nobody, and you want to go to work. You don't even know who you are leaving your child with. Be careful. Whosoever you want to leave your child with, please ensure that you take appropriate, you make appropriate information, get appropriate information from them, from the people around those people you want to keep in your home to look after your child. What I'm trying to say is investigate. Whosoever you want to leave your child with, investigate about them. Even in their school, whosoever you want to leave your infants under in school, please ensure that you investigate about such teachers. There are teachers that molest children too. We have them. We have teachers, uncles, aunties that molest children. In fact, we have some parents that molest their children. We have some parents that molest their children. Please, are we together? I don't know if the network is still very okay. Hello?
Yeah, please.
Hello? Okay. I want to be sure the network is still okay.
Yeah, it's good. Please continue.
Okay, fine. Oh, it's okay. So please, we have parents that molest their children. That's the honest truth. We do have. We have a lot of parents that molest, and they feel like, okay, since is you know, they wouldn't want to speak out. They wouldn't want to speak out. So please, I am advising every parent out there, be watchful of your child. Be watchful. There are fathers that molest their female child. There are mothers that molest their male child. These are things that are happening in our today's society. These are things that are happening. It's a very big challenge. So please, we should be very careful of the things we do to these children because it has a negative implication on them as they are growing up. It could even make them to have low self-esteem. It could. And when they now get married, eventually get married, you now see that they have restrainment to their husbands. They are scared of sex, prior to their sexual abuse in the past. So please, we should be very careful with those children and the life they live. The life you live with them, with your teenagers at home, with your child at home, tells in the later on. Please. And increase in loneliness. When a child decides, a child is always lonely. He doesn't want to talk to anybody. He just loves to do things on his or her own. Please take such child to see a counselor. It's a challenge, it's a problem, it's not normal. It's not normal for a child to always be lonely, to always want to be isolated from their peers. They just want to be left alone always. It is not normal. Sincerely, it's not normal. Once in a while, a child should be able to come out and have a fresh air, have peer groups they gist with, they talk with, and the rest. Responsible peer groups that have the fear of God in them. So please, as a parent, ensure that you guide your child. The kind of life you live, it is the kind of life your child will emulate. That's the honest truth. Whatever you are doing in the house, your 1 year, 2 year,
Your video got struck. We can't hear you. Mrs. Howler?
I'm back online now.
Yeah, please continue. No, it's fine.
Yeah. So please, I'm appealing to every parent out there. Ensure that you monitor your children. Whatever they are doing, monitor their activities. Go the extra mile as a parent. We have a lot of role to play. As a parent, we have lots of role to play. So ensure that you do your role, you play your role as a parent to give your life, to give your children the best of life. You know, please. Because when a child is being molested, it has a long-time negative effect on that child. It really does. It really does. They could even have you know, they could be infected with STI, sexual transmitted disease, and they could also be pregnant. The child could also be pregnant. When a child is being molested, being abused, and eventually gets pregnant, you would believe me that that child's life will never be the same. It takes the grace of God. So please, let's be very careful the people we allow to hang around our children. When your child tells you he or she is not comfortable with this particular person, please don't just leave it there. Go extra mile to find out why this child is telling you he or she is not comfortable with this fellow. Even if you feel your child tells lies before, but in a situation like this, please go the extra mile to find out why your child is not comfortable with this particular person. And when you find out and you realize that your child was telling you the truth, please report to the appropriate authority. Don't keep mute. Don't keep mute. Even if the person is the commissioner's son or the senator's daughter or the governor's daughter, please report. Because I have seen cases where by the molester feels like they have money. You cannot report me to the authority. If you report me to the authority, you know, I'm going to wipe out your entire generation. I'm going to deal with your generation and stuff like that. They begin to threaten the family of the molested child. And the family will eventually keep mute because they are scared. They don't want, and they are scared. They don't want their child's reputation to be destroyed. Your child's reputation cannot be destroyed. It can only be destroyed if you don't do the needful, if you don't do the rightful, if you don't do the right thing. So please, nobody should threaten anybody. Molestation is something that would destroy a child's life if not properly handled. Please, please. The younger women of this generation are going through a lot, are really going through a lot. So please, the government should ensure that they put the appropriate measure. I'm still coming to that. Ways at which molestation can be reduced. And your child needs boundary. When we're talking about self-esteem, your child needs boundaries to develop self-confidence and to also develop their freedom. You need to allow your child to have peer groups, but the only thing is you ensure whatever peer group your child is going to have should be the right peer groups for them. You monitor their activities. I'm not saying a child shouldn't own a phone. If you must give your child a phone, ensure that there is a tracker that will be tracted, a tracker that will be able to link your phone and their phone, so that whatever that is happening, you'll be able to have access to them. Effect of child molestation. It has a short-time effect. The short-time effect could be pains. You know, they begin to have pains, severe pain, and it will require medical help. And pregnancy, sexual transmitted disease. These are effects of molestation. Anxiety, attachment, post-trauma, stress, depression, suicidal, eating disorder. These are some of the effects of child molestation. These are some of the effects it has on a child. When a child is being molested, these are some of the effects it has. So I applaud with every parent out there. Ensure that you monitor your child. Monitor your child. And whatever they are doing, get involved in their life activities. Get involved with their life activities. Please. When you notice that your child has this signs, please, it is time for you to wake up as a parent. It is time for you to wake up as a parent to find out why your child is going through, what's happening, why your child is having this this anxiety, attachment, post-trauma stress. You know, they begin to feel lonely. They don't want to talk to anybody, and they just want to be left alone. They feel depressed. They feel nobody loves them, especially when they have no one to talk to. It is easier for them to start thinking of suicidal. Or when they even speak to someone and the person is not giving them listening ear, giving them attention, you know, it's easier for them to think of suicide. So please, let's give our children the best life, knowing that they are the future of tomorrow. Then ways we can prevent molestation. Talk to your kids about early sex. Talk to your kids about early sex. Talk to them. Talk to them about early sex. It will help them a lot. Teach your kids about arousal. It will help them a lot as well. Teach your children about arousal. It will help them so well. Then pay attention to your kids' partner. Whoever your kids are mingling with, pay attention to them. Know the kind of life they are living. Your kids' partner. Know the kind of partner they are, your kids' partner are. And if they are the kind of people you would want your children to mingle with, of course, they can. But if they are not, please break the communication. You know, break it and ensure that they don't see each other. Else, it will be disastrous. Be wary who your kids trust. We are still on ways to prevent molestation. Be wary of who your kids trust. Be wary of who they trust. Develop codes with your kids. You know, I have a teenager in my house, my girl child. When she's doing something I don't like, when she sees my face like this, she already knows what I'm trying to say. Sometimes I don't even speak. I don't need to say anything. She just knows what I want to say. She just knows what I'm asking her to do. So as a parent, you need to develop codes with your kids so that even when you are out there, when your child wants to do something or your child is in danger, your child can actually signal you as a mother and you understand what your child is saying. Because if you don't develop codes with your kids, your child, you could be with your child in a particular sport and something is happening to your child. But because there is no code, you didn't develop a code with your kids, the child is giving you a signal for you to know that he or she is in danger. You wouldn't know because there is no connection. Please, let's try and build connection, strong connection with our kids. And we have some strategies against child abuse. And we are hoping that the government will do more. You know, the government have been doing more, but we are hoping the government will do more, to ensure that whoever that is being caught to have molested a child should be jailed for life. Yes, when someone is, regardless of who they are in the society, when you are being caught to molest a child, or there is a proof, there is an evidence that you molested a child, trust me, the person should be jailed for life, because such person can kill. Because you molesting a child, you are already killing the child emotionally, psychologically. The trauma will always be there. And until the child, see a counselor and go through therapy before the child can regain their self-confidence, especially in a situation whereby the case was being reported. The child will begin to have this, low self-esteem. In 2015, we have these municipalities who have important role in preventing and stopping child abuse, and they provide treatment, and they also support the abused child. So, and this central, the government actually put this in place anyway. It's through the help of the government, we're able to have these municipalities who are responsible for youth care. They are responsible for youth care. They support any child that is being abused, and they try to put a stop to child abuse as well. So please, we have a lot to do. Me and you, we have a lot to do. Daily, on daily basis, we have over 1.2 million children that are being abused on daily basis. On daily basis. And these children are going through so much, and nobody is doing anything about it, because the parents are not even helping matter. It is when the parents speak out, the government will be able to help. When the parents don't speak out and they keep mute because they feel they don't want shame to befall them, one thing, they just have some flimsy excuses. I am actually appealing to the parents out there. When your child is being molested, speak to the authority involved. And when your child speaks to you about molestation, go extra mile and find out who are involved. Don't keep mute. And even when you find out, nobody should threaten you as a parent that if you speak out, this is what will happen. And you as a child, you shouldn't feel threatened. Nobody has the right to threaten you as a child. Nobody. When you are being threatened, when one uncle touched your private part and the uncle is telling you, if you tell your mother, if you tell your father, if you tell your guardians, I'm going to kill you, and you keep quiet, you're already killing yourself. I already said this. The section with this. And please, I would love every parent out there, every guidance out there to take this serious. Child molestation is a serious challenge, and it has caused a lot of havocs on the person who is being molested's life. And if nothing is being done about it, we keep silent about it, we are not helping these children. We're not helping their life. We're not helping their future. It will give them a long time damage. A long time damage that they might not even recover from. If you are a child out there and you're listening to me, please, whosoever that have molested you, it is time for you to speak out. It is time for you to speak out. Talk to your guidance, talk to your mother, talk to your father. And if you are a parent and you have a child with you that is being molested, please report to the appropriate authorities. Don't keep mute, don't keep silent. Stop feeling like if you report to the authority, your child is going to be stigmatized. Please, for you not to report, it is a stigma on the child alone, a lifetime stigma that she or he will never recover from. And when you have people around your child that say some nasty words, some naughty words to your child, please stop it. Don't allow somebody out there to be telling your child words. There are words you say to a child that molest them. I earlier said this. So immediately you stop such person from saying such words to your child. Go to your child's schools and see what the activities they are engaged in. There are some parents, they don't know the school. Since they enroll their children in school, they have never been to their school to even visit their children, to see how their children is doing in the school environment, to see the kind of people that are even surrounding their school, surrounding their children. Go to your child's school once a while and know how your child is faring in school. See how they put up their confidence in school. Parents, we have role to play. We have assignments. If you must train your child to become somebody in future, please, let's learn to give them the best education, the best life, and the best treatment we can give to them as they are growing up. You need to monitor every of their activities. Monitor all the activities. Even though you need to give them some space, especially when they attain the age of 13, 14, 15, they feel like they are now the boss of the house. Whatever they want to do, nobody's going to stop them. That stage is actually a very dangerous stage, because that is the stage anybody can just tell them deceiving words and they will fall for it. Like I said, I want to round up and I want to address this particular molestation, child molestation, to the parents out there, to the children out there, to the abused children out there. We are with you. We are solidly with you. You should learn to speak out. Learn to speak out. The government is with you. They want to help you, but if you don't speak out, nobody can help you. Learn to speak out. Nobody is going to kill you. Nobody will do you anything. It is when you don't speak out that you already killed yourself. Learn to speak out and don't be threatened by anybody's words. So I will be stopping here for questions and I'll be ready to answer. Thank you once more, Mr. Ravindra, for this section, and to everyone who make our time to listen to this section. I want to appreciate, and I want to plead that this video will be shared to as many parents as you can reach out to, and I'm very sure it will help them. So thank you once more for this section, Mr. Ravindra, and to every other person out there. So I'll be waiting for questions if there are any.
Thank you for sharing insights about child molestation. Yeah, there are a lot of unheard, untalked stories, or about, especially when it comes to child molestation. Molestation can happen at any age.
Yes.
But young minds, small children, when they undergo this kind of act, they have to face this lifelong. They have to go through this for their entire life. They always have this insecurity feeling. They always have
when they are being molested.
Yeah. So what kind of interventions you have seen are promising?
One thing I realized about this molestation, the challenge is these children don't want to speak out because they are being threatened. They are being threatened from the molester. And even those ones that now have the confidence to speak out, the parents will not take it serious to report to the appropriate authority, especially when the molester is within the family. They will just, and these things, most of them happen in rural areas.
it is uncle, it is his uncle, it is his brother, it is his auntie. Please, let's just settle it in the house. You know, they want to settle it in the house. They don't want the case to get to the appropriate authority, which is wrong. These are the challenges we are having now. And I'm pleading to every parent out there, please, when your child tells you that this uncle molests me, even if it is somebody you know that cannot do it, please investigate. Don't tell the child that you are lying. This uncle cannot do this, or this auntie, because even boys too are being molested. And for the infants that cannot speak out, it is left for you the responsibility, as a parent, to always monitor your child, monitor your infant child, check them as often as you can to see how their body system looks like, because they can't speak out. So when they are being molested, who will they talk to? Children are being molested from the age of 1, and they cannot talk. They cannot talk. So you should always ensure that you check your children, check their private parts, check their body to see what the problem is with them, if everything is fine with them. Then for those that have grown, that can speak out, please speak out. Don't allow anybody to threaten you that if you speak out, I'm going to kill you. If you don't speak out, you've already killed yourself and you've killed your future. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, Mr. Ravidra.
True, we need to support them. You know, the children, they do not have that kind of discretion or kind of maturity at that age, and you know, already being gone through such an heinous act, such an threatening act, or they are very vulnerable. And we have seen also many times, you know, these same children go get abused again and again, repeated. And
because some of them are not speaking out. Some of them are afraid to speak out.
yeah, so as you rightly pointed out, the family should be very conscious and aware about these things. And in the neighborhood, it can happen, it can come from anyone for that matter, within family,
anyone,
outside family.
Yes, exactly.
So we should be very much communicative to the child, you know, and we should create a conducive environment where child can open up, keep up.
Exactly.
And you know, we should also teach children what is good touch, bad touch in the early age.
As they are growing up, the early age, yes. Even we like I said something. They could let the parents, we should discuss with your child about sexual abuse. Tell them about sexual abuse. Discuss with them, sit them down, and tell them the implication that if eventually they are being molested and they don't speak out, tell them the implication of them not speaking out. But you know, we have lots of parents these days, they are too busy with work. You know, they don't even have time for their children anymore.
Yes, this is also, you know, there are various aspects when coming to this child abuse. You know, as you rightly pointed out, different factors that are contributing and, you know, creating nowadays. Why do you think in the very first place this child molestation is happening?
It's unfortunate the society we live in today. You know, anybody feels like they can do something and go free. That's what is happening in the society we live in. They feel like I have the money, I can do whatever I want to do, and nobody's going to question me. The authority cannot do anything. And sometimes you wouldn't really blame these molesters, because I have seen where a child dress half naked, not properly dressed. You expose every part of your body and you are enticing men. You wear clothes and your clothes is not covering your bums. You wear shirts, half of your breast is out. Anybody could feel enticed about it and they want to give it a trial. So again, I would love to address the parents. How your child dress out there is very important. Monitor your child's dressing. You don't allow your child to dress indecently. Indecent dress is one major reason that attracts molestation. You see a child of 2 years old, 3 years old wearing bum short, exposing their laps. So please, indecent dressing should be avoided if we must curtail child molestation. Indecent dressing. And the places your child goes to. You don't allow your child to go out at night. As a parent, you don't take your child out late at night. These are times that evil things happened. If you have a female child or a male child, there are places you don't send them to. There are places they don't go to. Be very careful of who they communicate with, what they do, outside and inside the house. But indecent dressing had been one of the major challenges that I have seen in this past years that I have been running a partnership NGO before I even have my own NGO. Indecent dressing have been the challenge. So we have to address it. They should learn to dress properly. Allow your child to dress properly. Dress properly, smart, confident, and neat. Let's start from there.
Yeah, you rightly pointed out, but again, this has been very much controversial, and especially with the women community, especially they were very much against this. How someone wearing some kind of dress will provoke, and they have their own rationale of saying that even the women or the children, for that matter, who wore complete or cover entire body also are getting molested. How do you see these both statements contrary to each other, and how do you look at these
Yeah,
statements? Yeah.
there are some persons that are still dressed decently and they are being molested. I understand and I agree with that, quite sure. Like I said, we live in a society today where anybody feels they can do something and go free with it. That's the society we live in. That's the society we find ourselves because they have the money, they feel they can do something and go free with it. If you are being molested by whosoever the person is, for whatsoever reasons, I said something, please report to the appropriate authority, report to your guardians, report to your parents. I agree, there are lots of persons that are dressed decently and they are still molested. I agree with that. But you need to report. You need to file a report about such case.
Uh, why do you think, yeah, as you rightly pointed out, dressing, improper dressing or indecent dressing can also provoke, can also invite in other way, because the society is not that society which was earlier, which was having morals, ethics, values. This society, modern society, is so highly uh, what we can call immoral, unethical kind of attitudes. And as you rightly pointed out, those who have power, money, and those who are in advantage position, they always think that they can do anything and get away easily. And they are the ones who are,
Mm-hmm.
engaging in lot of crime and this kind of abuse, violence, directly or indirectly, because they think nothing can stop them or no one can stop them. And this,
Exactly.
so how do you think we can address this issue?
I didn't get you. I didn't hear you. The network was bad.
How do you think we can change? I mean, how do you think we can change this society or the attitude or perception of this, that they can get away when they have money, when they have power?
First of all, the government has a role to play here. Whosoever you are, whatsoever power you possess, if you are being caught, or there is an evidence that shows that you are a molester, whatsoever you are and the power you possess in the society, there should be a punishment for the molester. There should be a serious first-class punishment for the molester. I think it will teach others a lesson that regardless of who you are, if an evidence is being gathered about you for being a molester, you are going to face the punishment squarely. The government should the government should ensure that the policy is being put in place. Of course, there is a policy for every offender of a molester, but it's more like it is for the poor. If the rich do such acts, they are set free. And if the poor engages in such acts, they are being punished. The law should be equal. The law should not know any discrimination. What says to one says to all. Whatever the law says to somebody who molests, either in any form, should be the same punishment should be given to everyone. There shouldn't be any form of discrimination. Molester. If we can start from there, others will learn. But until then, if we keep having discrimination just for the poor, then anybody is free to do whatever they want to do. And they'll feel like, okay, I have the money, I'll use the money to sort the government or sort the authorities, and I'll be free. So until then, until the government sets this policy and sticks to it, when you molest and there are evidence are being gathered about it, and you are found guilty. When you molest, you're found guilty. Regardless of who you are, you pay for it. So the government should look into it and ensure that the policies and the rules and the laws is being given to everybody, not just the poor. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your insights. Participants, if you have any queries or observations or comments, feel free to discuss.
And another thing I want to chip in, abused children, they feel unsafe until they find the right person to talk to. They always feel unsafe. The child that is being molested, except you are not an observant person, if you observe them, even from afar, they feel unsafe. They feel they want to be reserved. They want to be alone. They want to be on their own. But for the smart ones, for the smart guardians and those around their environment will know that something is wrong with this child. This child is not okay. So please, we need to watch out for every child out there, either your own biological child or not your own biological child. Please watch out. Let's help our neighbors. Let's help the community. Let's help the society. Let's be observant of every child around us. Thank you. And most of this abused child, you know, from my statistics, I realized that 82% of these victims are female. %82 are females.
Even
Females
for that,
female fall more victim to rape than the male.
even
I don't know
especially
if you
when
agree.
coming
If you
to,
agree with me that the female children are prone to
yeah, they are more vulnerable comparatively
molestation. Yeah, they are
to
more vulnerable to the
male
male.
children. But nowadays we see that even male children are getting also abused
Of course, they
sexually.
are getting abused. They are getting abused sexually. They are getting abused. They are getting abused.
Why do you see this trend even with male children being abused by males?
You know, in some of this people we have in our society today, they call themselves gay. You know, they call themselves gay. And in some countries, it is actually allowed. In some countries, it's allowed. And in some other part of the country, it is a serious crime. It is a serious crime. And for some other reasons, some of these people, you know, would want to they would want to engage in it for the monetary part. You know, I've seen a situation where a woman molests a child, a boy of 16 years old, and the case was brought forward. And what the woman said was she's always giving the boy money. Even before she starts the molestation, she has been enticing the boy with gifts, buying all manner of gifts for the boy. So it was easier for her to achieve her aim. So you can see that such parents to that boy were not careful enough to know that their son is going through some trial moments. The whole blame still boils down to parents. Parents have roles to play because there is no way you monitor your child and you will not notice if something is wrong with your child. You will know. Somehow you will know. Even if your child doesn't tell you, you will know that something is wrong. Then it is now left for you as a mother or as a father or as a guardian to go further to investigate. Even without your child knowing, you investigate. I think this will help. This will help. You investigate what is wrong with your child and it will help. Because some of this child wouldn't want to be speaking out. Probably they might have threatening them, or some they have given them all manner of gifts and they are enjoying the gift and they wouldn't want to speak out. So it still boils down to the parent to find out what has gone wrong along the line. And how do you get this? When you communicate with your child. or even if you can't communicate with your child, you need to study your child, study their body language, study their system, and you will be able to tell when something goes wrong. Yeah. I think I'm done with this part.
Thank you for sharing insights. And participants, if you have any queries or observations, you can raise your hand or you can unmute yourself and you can ask related to question.
Hi, ma'am. Actually,
Madam Mary.
yeah, actually, you told na very good point that little bit indecent dressing. That I've heard in my women's helpline in Bangalore also. Because of that, a lot of molestation is happening. Once I got the opportunity to work with police people during Children's Day. That time I worked with the women helpline and children's helpline. That time the women counselors and women psychologists was telling of the molestation in our cities because of the indecent dressing. Because my city is a very modern city. It's the IT capital of India, Bangalore. So this is the reason lot of cases are coming. So you brought a very valid point because I only have experienced police and the other psychologists and so counselors telling that point. Very need of our topic you have said, ma'am, and very informative. All the talk you have said, no, it's really useful for life.
Thank you so much.
All the
Thank
best.
you.
Hope
Thank
to
you
see
so
more
much.
sessions in our
Thank you.
webinar.
Thank you so much,
God
Madam
bless.
Mary. Thank you. I appreciate this. Thank you so
God bless
much.
you. Take care.
Amen. Thank you. All right. So are we done for this section?
Yeah, thank you, Mary. I think we need to also really define or redefine ourselves. What is modernity? Just by wearing short skirts or minis or, does that mean that we are modern? Or what is modernity? Just wearing some clothes, maybe too short or maybe too long or, these does not really define modernity. Modernity is,
you need to wear something that covers all the sensitive part of your body. You understand? There are ways you can actually dress very beautifully, and every part of your body is covered. You don't need to wear a shirt that comes down that will be showing every your curves here. You don't need to wear a shirt that shows your clothes is up, your tummy is shown. You don't need to. There are ways when you want to wear a skirt, let your skirt be below your knee. When you want to wear a trouser, let your trouser be below your bums. Let your shirt cover your neck. Don't allow it to come down. Don't expose your sensitive parts. When you want to dress in a way that your sensitive parts are covered. I think that's all.
Even the mode, even the media or the movies or the films, whichever nowadays are coming, all are encouraging somehow, unfortunately, the kind of dressing they wear, these models or these heroes and heroines, they widely
That's the
encourage
reason
this
why.
kind of culture, unfortunately.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the reason why I advise parents, when you want to give your child a phone, monitor your child. There is this app that you can install on your child's phone. Whatever conversation, anything your child is going through, once a while, you can take your child's phone and see what the activities your child is doing. Because most of the time, they learn this thing from social media. They learn it from social media, from celebrities. And those celebrities are wearing those things to make money. That's the truth. They wear it to make money. So when you don't monitor your child's activity on social media, they tend to want to have a role model that dress indecently. They want to have a role model that dress indecently. So, but by the time you learn, you monitor your child's activity on social media, you'll be able to know what they are doing per term. So I think that is it. So parents have a major role to play. They have a major and serious role to play. Thank you.
So thank you, Mrs. Howlett, for spending time with us and sharing various insights. These all are somehow aggravating or contributing to this child abuse and molestation or sexual abuse, whatever we call it, whatever name we call it. Maybe no matter what, of course, that is secondary. Whatever, everyone has freedom, to wear whatever they want. But as long as it is decent, as long as it covers our, irrespective of whether it is a man or a woman, as long as, it covers our sensitive parts or private parts,
Yes,
we,
sir.
it should be acceptable. Otherwise, these things often provoke other people, and a lot of there are some views that they are actually inviting them. So this can again bring a lot of challenges or issues for them to deal with.
Exactly.
So maybe they.
Thank you for this contribution. Thank you so much.
It was really nice discussion. Hope
Thank you.
everyone, this day, Suicide Prevention Day, this is also a very important topic, especially, because always people who has undergone abuse are always, susceptible to commit suicides. The vulnerability of committing suicide is also, the probability is more, especially.
And suicide is never the solution. Suicide is never the answer. To those out there that are thinking of committing suicide, it is never the solution. It is never the answer. So just get the right person to talk to, get a counselor, get a therapist to just talk with, and you will be fine. If you need to pray, of course, go ahead and pray. Suicide is never a solution to any problems. It has never solved any problems. It has never solved any problem.
Yes, as you rightly pointed out, suicide is never a solution, or neither part of the solution. It in fact creates a lot of problems,
Exactly.
loss of a family member, and entire family is put into grief, and the greatest loss caused to the family, and also the stigma around the society,
On the family, on the society. Exactly.
a lot of new problems and challenges that we are, that the person is creating for that family, for that community.
And for those going through depression as a result of molestation, please get a counselor around you and speak to speak to your guardians. Go to the appropriate authority and report. Just make sure that you do the necessary thing. Report. If you are being molested and you're going through depression, please go to the appropriate authority and report today. It will help you. It will help you. It will help you a lot. Because we have a lot of depressed people out there that have been molested and they are afraid to speak because of the stigma and the rest. And I'm telling them now that they should go on and report. There is no stigma. We love you and everybody loves you. The society loves you. And we love you. We can't stand you being depressed. We can't stand you being depressed. We can watch you taking your life slowly. So please report to the appropriate authorities around you. Talk to your mother, talk to your guardians, talk to your parents, whoever you're staying with, please talk to them and you will be fine. Thank you, Mr. Ramendra.
Thank you, Mrs. Howlat, for joining us, and you have given very good time and good insights. Hope we'll take up more such, fruitful discussions on various topics in coming days, in the coming session.
Thank you.
We wish you all the success and look forward for more sessions in coming days.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you. Take care.
All right. Thank you. Bye for now.
Take care. Bye.
All right.
Yeah, after this wonderful session by Mrs. Howlat, we will just quickly, within next few minutes before we conclude, we'll look into today's commemoration. Though we have many commemorations today, but due to time constraints, we will restrict it to Suicide Prevention Day, and we will have an extensive discussion tomorrow in the conference about various aspects of suicide. So we'll briefly cover it today. World Suicide Prevention Day 2022 with the theme Creating Hope Through Action. An estimated of 703 people, 3,000 people a year take their life around the world. For every suicide, there are likely 20 other people making a suicide attempt, and many more have serious thoughts of suicide. Millions of people suffer intense grief or otherwise profoundly impacted by suicidal behaviors. Each suicidal death is a public health concern and with a profound impact on those around them. By raising awareness, reducing the stigma around suicide, and encouraging well-informed action, we can reduce instances of suicide around the world. World Suicide Prevention Day, in short known as WSPD, was established in 2003 by the International Association for Suicide Prevention, in short IASP, in conjunction with the World Health Organization. The 10th September each year focuses attention on the issue, reduces stigma, and raises awareness among organizations, government, and public, giving a singular message that suicide can be prevented. Creating hope through action is a triennial theme for the World Suicide Prevention Day from 2021 to 2023. So this theme is a reminder that there is an alternative to suicide and aims to inspire confidence and light in all of us. So the theme is set for 3 years, and for this 3 years, starting from 2021 to till next year, 2023, the theme is creating hope through action. And by creating hope through action, we can signal to the people experiencing suicidal thoughts, and there is hope. Through action, we can signal to people experiencing suicidal thoughts that there is hope, and we care and want to support them. It also suggests that our actions, no matter how big or small, may provide hope to those who are struggling. Lastly, it highlights the importance of setting suicide prevention as a priority public health agenda by countries, particularly where access to mental health services and availability of evidence-based interventions are already low. Building on this theme, spreading the message over 3 years, a world can be envisioned where suicides are not so prevalent. We can all play a role in supporting those experiencing a suicidal crisis or those bereaved by suicide, whether as a member of society, as a child, as a parent, as a friend, as a colleague, or a person with lived experience. We all can encourage understanding about the issue, reach into the people who are struggling, and share our experiences. We all can create hope through action and be the light. And, what are the strategies for fighting the stigma? And how do we really overcome the stigma of, suicide? If we look up uh, what is actually this, yeah. So one of the most difficult public health challenges of our time is to fight against stigma in relation to mental health. Although mental health conditions are very common throughout the world, people living with them very often experience discrimination and are treated differently. Fear, misunderstanding, and judgment contribute to the stigma, social exclusion, and discrimination that occur around people living with mental disorders. It can occur with friends and family members and in all spheres of life, at home, at school, at workplace, and hospital, both in rural and urban settings. Recovery from mental health conditions is possible. However, stigma and discrimination get in the way and prevent people to seek and get the help and the care they need. If we look at, you know, the figures or statistics around the globe, more than 7 lakh people died in 2019, and 77% of the suicides occurred in low and middle income countries in 2019, and more than 1 in 100, that is 1.3%, were by suicide in 2019. 1 in 100 deaths were because of suicide. And suicide is the fourth leading cause of death among 15 years to 29 years old in 2019. That is the young productive population, the bright future of our nation or of our planet is committing suicide. And suicide is a leading cause of death among these young generations. And 58% of the suicides happened before the age of 50 years in 2019. And we need a strategy, and we need, to implement live, live life to reach the target of reducing suicide rates by at least 1/3 by 2030, according to the UN Sustainable Development Goals 2030 and the World Health Mental Health Action Plan 2030. So LIVE cross-cutting foundations is a key evidence-based interventions with we can reduce or we can try to reduce suicide rates but to 1/3. These include situational analysis, multi-sectorial collaboration, awareness raising, capacity building, financing, surveillance, monitoring, and evaluation. So the key effective evidence-based interventions in Live Life are limit access to means of suicide, interact with the media on responsible reporting, foster life skills of young people, early identify and support everyone affected. And what is stigma? We were talking about so much about stigma, every time, in every session for that matter. So stigma is a mark that excludes a person from the rest and that diminishes his or her value in the social group to where he or she belongs to. It is also refers to one's negative attitude and behaviors towards people with substance use and mental health problems or any such similar issues and challenges. The stigma itself can be more long lasting and life threatening than the mental health condition. And discrimination is an action or decision that threats a person or a group differently, that treats a person or a group differently, that can be based on race, national or ethnic origin, color, based on uh, religion, sex, age, or physical or mental disability. People living with a mental health condition who experience discrimination also experience barriers in looking up for and keeping a job, safe housing, and healthcare services. It also has an impact on social interaction with family members, friends, and within the community. So we will just see one short video, then we'll break up for the day. And tomorrow we will take up in detail about this suicide and statistics and prevention. So let's quickly look into two short videos, then we shall conclude. Just give me a second so that I can pull it.
What's in a smile? A simple smile can mean little to you or I, but to someone thinking about suicide, it can be the first step towards life. Suicidal thoughts are complex. No one knows exactly what works to stop another tragedy, adding to the 800,000 suicides and 20 million attempted suicides a year. We do know, though, that certain actions can make a difference. And we know that if we put a wide range of these actions in place, we have a better chance of preventing suicides. Community support to counter the isolation so often felt. Responsible and sensitive media portrayals to help people see how others have managed. Local education to create awareness in the community. Restricting the means of suicide to stop people at critical moments. All these actions have been shown through research to work. But we can't do all this alone. We need people on the ground to help us make the first step towards those with suicidal thoughts. By stepping closer, we can be aware of those around us who need help. By stepping closer, we can encourage those with suicidal thoughts to reach out. By stepping closer, we can support those in need by sitting in their pain. Every step closer can connect someone to life and the help they want. Sometimes those steps are big. Sometimes all it takes is a smile.
Every year on September 10th, we observe World Suicide Prevention Day. This day serves to remind us that individually and collectively, we can all help to save lives. It aims to ensure that this major public health issue remains central to the global agenda, seeking to highlight the need for action at governmental, community, and individual levels. We mark World Suicide Prevention Day this year under the triennial theme, Creating Hope Through Action. This theme underlines the potential to create positive impact through our actions, no matter how big or small they may be. As individuals, we have the ability to initiate a groundswell of support that can contribute to the prioritization of suicide prevention among national and international leaders. Through awareness-raising activities, we can help to spread the message that suicide is preventable and therefore encourage a stronger understanding among all of us in the world. Each and every death by suicide is truly devastating. Instilling a sense of hope in those consumed by hopelessness and who feel trapped is critical to alleviating the darkness and facilitating the healing process for those experiencing a suicidal crisis. World Suicide Prevention Day is an opportunity to inspire confidence within ourselves and each other. Fundamentally, this action begins with you and I. We can all be the light. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. For joining us on this wonderful occasion. And we shall continue to discuss this topic tomorrow in detail. And kindly fill up the feedback form. It's shared in the chat box. As we have already informed earlier that we are having holidays till 15 September, but as already few sessions have been scheduled, we don't want to cancel them or postpone them. So we are continuing these sessions till till September 15th. So September 16th, we will be resuming these services and of all these things. And we repeatedly saying, see, the most important thing as a human being we need to have is gratitude. Without gratitude, I don't treat a human being as a human being. Repeatedly we are saying, and this is entirely a free platform and you are not paying anything. And we are paying for everything. Remember that in the very first place. And without respect, don't expecting. Only when we respect others, we will get respect. So that should be a prior, give and take policy. So all the communication should be duly respected. Otherwise, we will also not respond to queries. And always keep yourself updated with what is happening. That is most important as a human being. We can be anything, but education is, in this valueless society or moral, unethical society, people engage in a lot of corruption, but we are not such persons who, you know, are getting, our priority is not to get name or fame or any other thing. We do not have any other motive or vested interest. So we will continue with the same motive, and no matter 99% of the people are different, but we are not among those 99% of people. We are among that 1% who wanted to do the things differently, who wanted to do things genuinely. So we will not, as long we will continue, no problem. Even if there is no response, also fine. But we will continue to do as we are doing. We will be more transparent, we will be more accountable, and we will continue to do so. Whoever joins will join, whoever doesn't join doesn't matter, because everyone in this world have equal opportunity to share and contribute. With just one person, nothing is going to change, or nothing going to significantly. There is an equal opportunity for everyone. For that matter, for a single person can change entire world, and a single person even can't change entire world. There is always the two sides which is there. And I have seen repeatedly, I get comments saying that those organizations are giving that, this. See, if a simple question, I'm putting this on this open platform. If someone does something, that doesn't mean you have to do the same thing, or will you do the same thing? So it's a matter of common sense, before asking or posing a question that someone else is doing something, someone is giving certificates without attending, someone is, issuing certificates in a day or immediately. Does this mean that everyone has to give? Say, suppose I'm doing today, every day I'm creating awareness. How many of us are doing? Is there any other organization, can you show me, who is creating so much of awareness or taking up activities? When we are asking, we should also think about ourselves, how we are contributing to that. Just we are always in the row of pinpointing or blaming others. And what is our role in that? There is a serious issue. I see that there is a serious issue with these persons who are, always trying to blame or always trying to pinpoint. And there is no point also for that matter. They have a lot of things that needs to be changed. This is how the society is corrupt. Everyone wants to preach, but don't want to practice. Everyone is talking about following the rules and regulations, but as a person, we don't want to register, we don't want to attend, we don't want to fill the feedback form. We just want is log in and get the certificate. And this is how corruption goes on. And with these small things only, we are not able to manage it properly. These small things only we are not able to do. And where there is a huge benefit of name, fame, and wealth, definitely. And what is the kind of integrity we are having there? Definitely you will do 100% corruption there. This is what happening in the society. Maybe 99% let them people do corruption, and we will not get into that gamut of it. That is how world is unique. So, we should not get into such things. Maybe there is nothing wrong. What happens? And one more thing, I am always, if today you will get certificate, or tomorrow, or even after 1 month, for 1 year, what does that make a difference? Anyway, you are going to get today or tomorrow. It doesn't make any difference. And nothing comes in the world for free. Someone else is paying for you. So you should have that. I should have that gratitude. Everyone should have that gratitude. Otherwise, we will lose our respect. We will lose our value. The first thing is we should appreciate when we have some getting something. we need to appreciate people coming forward, doing, coming forward and taking up initiative when no one else has to. People are getting thousands and thousands of crore. Institutions are being funded crores and crores of rupees. But are they really doing something back to the society? Are they creating awareness? Or people in some organizations, we have thousands and thousands of people sitting idle, doing nothing, taking lakhs and lakhs of salaries. But they are supposed to create awareness. They are supposed to create, but when they are not doing, why you are not questioning them? What kind of integrity one has when you are trying to question someone who doesn't get? We do not take any donations. We do not take any sponsorship. We do not, but still we continue to do. We are continuing to doing it. How much efforts we'll put daily, Even if you see, to organize one event for one day, it is very difficult. And we hardly organize 2 or 3 or, yearly 4 or 5 conferences. That is a great number for many of us. But daily events, day to day, back to back, how difficult it is for reaching out for speakers, resource persons, and preparing all the groundwork and setting the platform, and preparing all the registration forms, circulating them, and ensuring that it is reaching almost everyone, and getting participants, and participants are joining. There is no, everyone is coming up voluntarily, and there is no single price involved in this transaction. Entirely is a service motive, non-profit motive. We all are coming together, and we are sharing each other's knowledge. And this is a very noble platform, and we really expect everyone to be very pious, very generous, very, respectable. I have seen the most, I can see I have met the best people on this platform, and I have seen the trash kind of people also in this platform who doesn't even deserve to be human beings. But this is the kind of experiences we get when we, interact, doing. So it doesn't matter for me, but we will continue, and don't always give these, because I want to mention it openly only. So there is nothing to hide. Some people is doing in corruption, some doing some crime. Don't, ask some other people also to do same thing. You should always promote the good things, not the bad things. So it will take some time, and we are, in fact, the procedure is very simple. But, by not following it, we are making it so complicated. And as long as you make it complicated, it will remain complicated only. So only simple thing is follow, as we have only just 5 simple procedures. Register it properly, provide all your details, participate in time, join in time, leave in time, and provide feedback wherever there are individual sessions. See, feedback is very important. It's not just for us as an organizer, it's for speakers also. They also want to know, how they have performed, and how they want, so that they can also improve. We can also improve. And everyone wants to hear, irrespective of whether positive or negative. We all want to listen. We all want to take feedback. And without feedback, what is the purpose? Of course, we'll continue to create more awareness. But, with some feedback, we'll know if we are on the right track, or if there is something we can improve, where we can actively, incorporate. That is the reason we ask for the feedback. Maybe, and we can justify every act of us because we have a very rich experience. And that's all we are getting, from this platform or from creating so many, because we get to meet different kinds of people with different mindset, different, thoughts, different perceptions. It is also a great learning for us how everyone behaves in a different way. And, everyone has their own interest of, joining us or, leaving us, or contributing to us or not contributing, not joining. But these all are, a kind of learning processes that we all go through. And, definitely at the end of the day, we need to be honest to ourselves, by what we are doing before we say something. We need to think whether it's required, and we need to have patience here, moreover. Especially today, when we are talking about suicides, so much of stress we are giving to people, and what we know, the karma is always there. Whatever we give, it will come back in n number of ways. So whatever we are giving to other people, make sure you are giving it in a positive thing, a constructive, productive thing. We need to appreciate the efforts. Otherwise, what will happen? Nothing. This opportunity will also be lost. Many people are coming, joining, sharing their sessions. Once this is, we also get fed up and we also, stop doing that. So I am not going to lose anything because I am not gaining anything, or we are not gaining anything in this. In fact, we are losing our time. In fact, we are using our resources, and we are using our, human resources to be put on this. Otherwise, we will only save. If we stop this, we are on the saving side only. We don't gain anything. We don't lose anything. But, the people who are, the participants, the speakers, everyone who are coming and joining and gaining, they are only the losers. Because we will continue to discuss at a personal level in a closed group. We'll continue to do it. But we have opened this platform so that some other people can also join together and contribute. Not a single pice we are taking, not a single, only thing is you need to follow the instructions. Even that also you will not be able to follow. Then what is the use of this education? What is the use of having so many degrees and so many years of experience, or so many, for that matter, so much knowledge, gaining so much knowledge, when we are not able to follow simple 5-step instructions? And most of the time we see, we have all evidence. Maybe I will put one day, whole day, I will demonstrate you also. Maybe in coming days, whenever we get some time, I will show all the messages also, which I am receiving. And, 99.9% of the fault lies with the participants. I can show it through record, everyone who is messaging me. Only the problem is coming when you are not following the instructions. When instructions are clearly mentioned. See, there are a lot of instructions only on the website. Many people we have informed to join the group for updates. And we see total number of participants joining us and total number of participants, joining the group. Even if there are 300, 400 registered participants, only just not 30, 40 people join. And how do you expect to, get updates to you? When a provision is given to join Facebook group, to join WhatsApp group, to join Telegram channel, and you are not joining and you are saying, I am not being updated, then whose fault is this? You have to join any of them. See, because the feedback from the feedback only, we came to know that some people are not on Telegram channel initially, Telegram app, because that provides around 2 lakh people to join a channel or a group. So that is a huge capacity that an app can support. That's why we created in that, so that we can accommodate as many people as possible. But some feedback has come that they are not using Telegram app, and to provide an alternative. So nowadays Facebook everyone is using, whoever is on social media. So we have created a group there and told to join, and how many people joined. And there also some people requested, we are not on Facebook, neither on Telegram. Then we have created a WhatsApp group temporarily, and we are sharing with every registration form, and how many are joining. See, there are many things which we are not doing, and if we blame others, then who is responsible for that? And we are also soon coming up with a Google group also, because some people said even we are not in WhatsApp also. Then what to do? See, it's so many people, we have different kind of thing, feedback coming in, and we cannot, for every person, we cannot create a new channel for update. We have to get along with the things, and we need to get along with the system. That is more important. But still we are trying, and we are continuing to provide updates. We will soon come up with Google Group also, where everyone is using Gmail. I know everyone is using Facebook, everyone is using WhatsApp. There are few exceptional people who still don't use it, but you can join any of the channel, either Facebook or even all of them also, no issues, and get updates whenever we are generating certificates. We are updating you whenever there are holidays. We are updating you in all the channels, and you again still ask the same thing again and again. How irritating it is, how frustrating it is, and what kind of persons we project ourselves when we are informed, when we have informed, and when we are asking it same question again and again. See, that shows our negligence. In fact, we call ourselves professionals and we engage in such acts. Now, what does it we portray ourselves in the, so these are all very important, especially, it doesn't matter what we are at the end, how many degrees we have, or how much of experience we have, or what position we have in the society. If we are not able to follow these simple instructions, then what is the value of all these possessing these things? So it is very important. We first behave like a human being with compassion, human being with, this empathy, human being with, concern, care, and we should always think before we, point out something, whether we are doing, how we are contributing, and how other persons are contributing, and what they are getting back, before just simply for the sake of saying you should not see. Of course, there are some people who don't expect anything and still continue to do something, and there are people for everything they need, without any monetary benefit or without anything, they will not do anything. See, we are appreciating the diversity, and we will continue to do so. We should continue to do so. That is what, freedom of speech and expression, equity, equality. We talk of everything, and again we do same thing. We talk about everyone, not following rules and regulations. And who are we? We ourselves do not follow rules and regulations, guidelines, procedures, and we blame others, or we blame the system. So only if you follow, only if I follow, only if we follow, the system is there in place. And if we have to get through the system, there is no other option. We have to follow, and everything is automatic. And that is very, it doesn't know anything. Computer doesn't know anything. Whatever we feed, it will give you. If it is exactly matching your name on all the forms, it will give you. Otherwise, it will just say not matching, and it will not give you the output. It will not generate a certificate. That's all. So we have to ensure that wherever we are putting in a right way. This system doesn't discriminate whether he is known person or unknown person. It just sees whatever data you are putting it, whether it is you are putting in the data correctly or not in all the forms, and whether you are joining as per the eligibility set. We have set it at 65% attendance, and it will just check whether you have really attended for 65% of the total session or not. If you are eligible, it will issue. If you are not eligible, it will not issue. As simple as that. So without understanding these things, whatever you say or whatever I say or whatever one say, nothing going to matter for that computer. Computer doesn't have any feelings or any emotions. It will do just what it has to do and what it is intended to, and how it has programmed to do. So only thing to get along with this is follow instructions. We have been repeatedly saying, because we also want you, when you are attending, we also want to issue certificates, but lot of manual work we will not be able to take. No, even if you don't have time to even fill the registration form, how do you expect other people to search all the registration form, feedback form, attendance form, and give you certificate? So when you don't have, other people will also definitely will not have time. When it is not your priority, definitely other person will not be in priority. Don't think that we are making something out of it and we are getting benefit of it. That's why we are doing all sorts of things are, absolute. We doesn't care about all these things. We are here only to share knowledge. Whoever comes will join. We are happy even if one person joins or doesn't join also, we are happy. We will continue to do it. And if you want to get benefit, and now it's only up to the participants and speakers. If they want to get benefit, join, follow the formalities and get benefit of it. Only that is only thing what we can do, or what I can say, or what we can say from the organizer side. If you follow the instructions, you'll be getting benefited. Otherwise, you are only getting at loss. That simple thing I want to convey, because we have already mentioned that we are having holidays, festival holidays till 15. So whatever events are there, we are organizing. We don't want it to postpone them or cancel them. That's why we are continuing. And certificates are anyway we are issuing. There is no certificate pending till August. Till August, I think. All the certificates are being transparent eventually, and I am open for also, we will put some coming days, open days also, where if you have a query, we will have a recorded session where we will show you all the evidences also. We have everything documented, and we'll show you also whatever claims you are making, whether it is true or not. We will show you that also. So we are always open, transparent, nothing to worry about that. Only time factor is time. You have to take time and we have to take time. That's all. So instead of that, we know what is happening, and that's why we are also giving you feedback where the things are going wrong. Why this problem is coming again and again is only because we are not following system. System is in place. So what we have to do is follow the system, and other things will fall into place. Register every day, because every day you are getting certificate. Every day a new speaker is joining, a new topic is being discussed. So every day we are sharing registration form also in the chat box itself in the meeting. Along with that, regular sources, you have that registration form. Even if you are joining directly, when we share the registration form, kindly fill up the registration form. with all complete details. Some people are just filling with junk values, and after that they ask for certificate. And how you will get certificate? By when filling up redundant values or junk values, some nonsense into the form. It will give you nonsense. So make sure we are responsible, accountable. I can show you everything. I can pull out record and just share the screen, and I can show you each message, each grievance also I can address. But at the end of the day, we will be exposing ourselves only. We think ourselves, so much educated, so much qualified, and we don't know these simple things. And we are getting annoyed ourselves in the front of all others. So we are still, unaware of the technology. We are still, many of us, not. There are many things even I don't know, for that matter. That's why I always keep learning. I'm a lifelong learner. Similarly, you also. You are also lifelong learner. We also don't know many things. We are still learning. So we have to be humble while we are learning. We have to cooperate. We need to appreciate people who are doing efforts, and we need to get along. If you really want certificate, you participate. You follow the instructions, get into the system properly, and take the certificates. If you don't want certificates, you can join at any time, leave at any time, because we are not bothered about the eligibility criteria. The system, that's why we have an option also in the registration form, feedback form. If you want certificate only, then follow, because system has to generate certificate. If system will generate only if you have that eligibility met, minimum attendance met. Otherwise, if you don't want any certificate, many people are not taking certificates. Let me tell you. And because they themselves, many of our participants, our friends also call me and tell me there is no need of certificate. Knowledge is more important. That's why you see many people are attending, many participants, many of our friends are attending, but we hardly generate very few certificates because they even don't want certificate. That's why they are not even sometimes not filling the feedback form, not filling. They just come, attend, listen to the sessions, gain knowledge, and they are leaving. But if you are very particular about certificate, you need to follow. There is no other way. You need to follow procedures. You need to attend, have minimum attendance, and take the certificate. And whenever the certificates get, generated, they are being uploaded, and you can download it. Absolutely, it's up to you how you are going to use this platform. The platform is there, and all the procedures are in place, instructions are in place. Follow them and get benefit of it. If you don't follow, you are only the one who is going to be out of the system, odd one out. So I request everyone, it's not that I'm addressing whoever is there. I'm sharing these thoughts because nowadays, I'm getting messages, more messages. See how daily I get hundreds, thousands of messages from different people asking their queries. You just imagine whole day if I sit answering these queries. That's why we have put everything on website. How it is possible for everyone to, keep answering everything whole day. That's why all the information is available on the website. Everything is there. There is nothing that is left out. Every information is there. You wait for your certificate if you think you are eligible, and if you follow the instructions daily. If you want certificate, follow. You join in time, you leave in time, and whenever there is a feedback form, fill it up, and kindly share your knowledge. Come forward and enroll yourself as a speaker if you have some topic to be discussed. Don't worry about number of participants joining, number of participants leaving. As long as one person is there, also we keep talking on phones for hours together. We keep on chatting for hours together. And at least you have one person, at least I am there who is, having so many degrees, so many years of experience, sitting, listening to you. What more you want? Or you are there for me, you are also having with so much of qualification, experience, listening to you. What more we need to share our information, to share our knowledge, exchange our information and knowledge? That is more than enough. That is kind of attitude we need to have, perspective we need to have. And we really appreciate those people who are, regularly joining us, sharing us, and putting a lot of time and efforts, as we are also doing, coming together. So if you want certificate, kindly follow the instructions. Certificate will be automatically generated, and it will be, you can download it from the website. If you don't want certificate, fine, then don't ask for it. Keep joining, keep gaining knowledge, and do contribute also, no issues. But if you want certificate, kindly follow the instructions carefully. That is only request. And some people message, if you don't, what is the use of attending without certificate? And you don't even follow the instructions, you don't even complete the formalities, and you want certificate. For those people, don't attend, I said. I'm saying in this open platform also. If you don't want to complete the formalities, if you don't want to comply with the system, and if you don't want, be out of the platform. Because don't create any issues or add to our troubles or add to our challenges. If you are complying, if you are comfortable with the system, come along with the system, get benefited, and share your knowledge, get along with us. We are happy to contribute, and we are happy to support you. We are happy to get you involved, and we'll get along, share knowledge, contributing knowledge, and keep learning. If you are not comfortable with the system, better stay away from the system. That is only what we can say, and we are not bothered also. Whether someone joins or someone talks good or bad doesn't matter for me. So thank you once again, everyone, for joining. Feedback form has been shared in the chat box. If you need certificate, kindly register and fill the feedback form. And the certificates will be updated from 16th, all the processing. On 31st, these verification certificate generations has been partially stopped. We are not saying that is entirely there. With limited capacity, we are issuing certificates also. But wherever there is cross verification required for those things, those things are set aside, and that will be taken up after 16th. And again, don't just keep bombarding with messages on 16th. 16th process will start, and there will be a lot of pending work, and also these 15 days, almost 16 days work will be pending. So have some patience, everyone. Let's be patient and wait for some time. Maybe this another 15 days to add. Already we have a 15 working days time, and we will have another 15 days added to that. So we will give all the things. So nothing to worry. We'll continue to contribute and serve everyone. So thank you once again for joining us. Keep joining us. Tomorrow we have a conference at 11 o'clock. So you can join with the same link. And today, if the commemoration day of World Suicide Prevention Day, tomorrow also will be taking up. If anyone is interested to present on suicide prevention or any topic related to suicide, kindly text me on WhatsApp so that I can make provisions for your session. So thank you once again. See you all tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Take care. Good night.